For the best gameplay capture there is, pick up an Elgato today. Links are in the description. Hey guys, how's it going? MasterBucks here, and welcome to a brand new career mode series. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Return to Glory. Not to be confused with the Road to Glory that I'm going to be doing after the Newcastle career mode. The Road to Glory is still going to be its own separate career mode, its own proper career mode that I'm going to do after I'm finished with Newcastle. By the way, I still haven't picked the team, so I'm still open to suggestions. But what this series is going to be, what the Return to Glory is going to be a little bit different. I am once a week, potentially maybe every single Sunday, going to release a brand new episode of this Return to Glory series. Every single week will be a brand new team because this series is just a one episode career mode. I am going 5 seasons into the future to try to take a team that preferably used to have a lot of success back in the day and now find themselves in a little bit of a rut. There are a lot of teams out there in world football that are in a very similar position where they've experienced the highest highs back in the day and now they're suffering the intolerable low. And the first team that we are doing in this one episode career mode series is going to be Nottingham Forest. I put it out there on Twitter. I wanted you guys to let me know any suggestions, what teams you wanted to see for this series, and an overwhelming majority of you really wanted to see Nottingham Forest first up. So we're going to do it. Nottingham Forest is the first Return to Glory career mode. Of course, let me know what you think of the new series down below, and of course, let me know what teams you would like me to do next because, again, hopefully I can do the series for a long, long time. So then, enough waiting. Let's begin the Return to Glory for Nottingham Forest. So let's begin the Return to Glory then. Season 1, Nottingham Forest, it's underway. Once again, another look at the team. We're still going to rock with the 4-2-3-1 formation that it came in. That is the starting 11. We've got a decent amount of substitutes, as you can see on here. Very good amount of depth in the defensive and attacking areas. We're definitely needing to work on the midfield positions though, but don't worry, we definitely have a few players ready in the shortlist. These are the players, ladies and gentlemen, I'm eyeing off for Season 1. Some of these players I might want to loan in, some of the players I might want to get on pre-contracts, a whole bunch of different players that I'm definitely keen on picking up. However, get this though, I don't think I'm actually going to make a transfer in the first transfer window. Maybe 1, maybe 2, but really I'm going to do the bulk of my transfers in the January transfer window. I think the team is good enough to hopefully be able to compete and maybe try to get into at least the top 6 of the championship with the team we already have. So what I'm going to do from here on out, guys, is continue to simulate games as per usual. If there's any transfer related business or anything like that, I'm going to show them to you. I'm going to keep on training these players as well, just in the background. But if there's anything of note that I want to show you, I'll be sure to do so. It would appear as though we've got pretty much all the information for every single player in our shortlist, which means I think I'm going to go in for the first player that I want to get. And straight up, we're getting a brand new goalkeeper, a 7-year rated 20-year-old Andre Morea. I know he's loan listed, but I'm still going to try buy him outright. We're going to go for 2 million to start off with. And would you take a look at that? They've actually accepted the 2 million. I thought I was going to have to go for more, but no. Bump that up to 20k then, 5 years, and boom, hopefully that should be good. And he has accepted. Beautiful stuff. So we've made our first transfer of the career, and it's going to be a goalkeeper from, of course, Atletico Madrid. And of course, we know that they've got a great reputation of having some sensational keepers. So he goes in there then, as opposed to Henderson and the other goalkeeper that we have that are in their late 20s. This man is only 20 years of age, has a much higher potential, and he should be getting into the 80s in no time at all. And honestly, guys, I think I'm done bringing players in for this transfer window. I want to save a lot of transfers for January. If I do get any transfer offers for any of my players, I'll be sure to show them to you. And we have reached the first game of the championship. A few days later, we play Leeds in the EFL Cup. I'm simming all of these games in the calendar. We will see how we go. And we have made it to the transfer deadline day for the first transfer window. If we get any offers, I'll be sure to let you know. However, I don't think we are, since it's been a pretty quiet window, to be honest. Yeah, that was definitely a very quiet transfer deadline day for sure. We got absolutely no offers there, and we are now done, which means we're going month by month. Now that we're out of the transfer window, guys, I'm pretty much just going to advance month by month by month by month. Every single time, going over the results, taking a look at our position in the table, seeing where we are in the EFL Cup and in the FA Cup, and pretty much seeing how we're getting on. So we're underway then. The first month is being simulated, the month of September 2016. And to be completely honest with you guys, we are not having a good start. That entire month of September, we didn't win a single game. We pretty much drew every single match except one, which we lost to Fulham, which I can't believe it. This is not how I thought it would go. All right, let's begin October then, and I'm just hoping for better, seriously. All right then, so it's slightly better as we go into November. We're now in 15th, which is a little bit higher. We're 15 games played, only on 19 points though. We're definitely pretty far away from that top 6. We were unfortunately knocked out of the EFL Cup. We made it all the way to the last 16. We were knocked out by West Ham. And now another month of simulation. Here we go in November. There's only 3 games in it. And hey, take a look at this. We are only 1 point off the top 6 after a pretty dire start. We took 7 7 points out of 9 in the last month. So that is sensational. And then finally, one more month until we are in the January transfer window, and it is the December month, which of course features Newcastle twice. That's going to be a tough test. 6 games, and very well could decide whether or not we're in the top 6 by the end of 2016. And so we've made it, ladies and gentlemen. It's January the 1st, 2017. We are back into a transfer window, and we are going to do bit in the transfer window. But before we do, let's take a look at our league position. We're 2 points off of the top 6. And I got to be honest with you, I'm quite surprised by that, because in our last month, we won 3, drew 2, and lost 1. And yet, despite that, we're still in 9th, which I thought we were only a point away last month, and now we're 2 points off. We're actually further away, which I'm surprised by the results, but still, there you go. I reckon if we just keep going about it, and of course bring in some more players in January, which we're about to do, it could shore it up, and hopefully we can crack that top 6. So to start off transfers, I'm going to go for some of the players that I want to get on a pre-contract that you can see in my shortlist. Benito is one, Agu is another one, Ucan or Uchan, whatever it is. He is going to be another player that we're going to go for later on. He's 22 at the moment. We can't get him yet, but he does turn 23 in January. We've got Ciceretti, if that's how you pronounce that as well, and Luciano as well. So I'm going to offer contracts for all of these guys, and hopefully we'll be able to pick them both up. And we've already got a couple of players accepting. Luciano, who was definitely one of the players that I wanted to get, he's already accepted. Beautiful stuff there. And the other one is Benito, so a good right back, 24 years of age. We'll pick him up as well. We've just had 2 more players accepting as well. Ciceretti right there is accepted, and so has Agu. So both of those 2 are going to be joining us as well. And to be honest with you guys, it's starting to get pretty pricey. He's turned me down twice now, and I think it's getting way too much. I'm going to go for some other players now. I'm going to go for Bogger, Elena, and Keane. We're going to inquire for all of these 3. So here's what we've got back. Keane we cannot get because he just joined, although I think I can get him on a loan though. Elena is going to be worth 2.8 mil, and Bogger is going to be a bargain, only 1.2. I think I can even get him lower than that. I'm going to go 1 million for Bogger, a guy that's value was meant to be 3 or 4 mil. We're getting for almost like... It's incredible how cheap we're getting him. Elena, I think I'm going to try to knock him down to 2 million, and we'll see how we go with that one. This is pretty interesting, guys. I tried to offer 1 million. It didn't work. I go for 800, which is what his value is, and the board will not allow me to offer such a high future fee. I'm just going down every 100 grand to see what they'll eventually take, and 700 grand. I wonder if I'm about to get him for that cheap. And oh my goodness, guys, absolutely tragic. It turns out that someone, another club, Frankfurt, have come in and stolen Jeremy Bogger from us, because I tried to go in and offer another deal, because obviously we offered 1 million, they accepted that, and then in come bloody Frankfurt with 2.6. I now can't get him because he's gone to the club already. So we missed out on a bargain there. I don't think I'm going to be able to bring in Moise Keane either, which is it's just going to shit right now. But at least Barcelona have accepted the 2 million for Elena. Let's just pick this man up and be done with it. And hopefully he can contribute this season. So Elena's accepted his contract and we are done. He's probably going to be the last transfer that I make. We do have some extra cash to make some more signings, but really everyone in my shortlist is either gone to another club or we've already brought them in or we can't bring them in. So that's that. So we're finished with February. We're now into March and we are just 1 spot off of the top 6. We're 7th. We have a game more played than Sheffield Wednesday. They have a high goal difference, I would assume. And so we're just outside, but we are so close. So the month of March now is done. 4 games played. Let's take a look at the results. A win against Brighton, which is big. A draw against Brentford. We got a win against Burton and a loss against Derby. That last result's probably going to hurt. And you know what? April is pretty goddamn stacked and there's only 1 month in May. I'm pretty much going to sim all the way to the end to see whether or not we make it into the top 6. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for. Did we make it into the top 6? Yes, we did. We actually finished 4th. So we are into the top 6. We're not going to be automatically promoted. That is fine. Although to be fair, in the end, we were just a point off. That's pretty crazy. Derby County have absolutely just dominated the league, which is funnily enough. Newcastle have finished 2nd, but we're going to have to battle it out, and it means since finishing 4th, we're going to have to play Aston Villa first. So let's begin it then. The first away leg against Aston Villa. Of course, there's a second game to be played before making the final. How are we going to go in this one? I'm going to skip ahead. It's a 2-0 win. That's a big result right there. An injury that isn't even to one of our players, to Gardner. And you know what? It's going to be a big help in the second. And now for the second leg. Come on, we've already got a 2-0 lead. All we have to do is not let it slip. Please don't choke. Skip ahead. A 2-1 loss, but that's still okay because even though we lose this game, a 2-0 win in the last match means we progress 3-2 on aggregate and we are going to the final. who are going to be our opponents. It's going to be Leeds United who we play in the final then. All right then, so it's either Nottingham Forest or Leeds going through to the Premier League. So here we go then, the final of the Championship playoffs. Who is going through to the Premier League? Leeds were able to breeze through past Bristol City, and now we have made it to Wembley all the way to the final. Who's it going to be? Still a half an hour in and nothing really has happened. No injuries, no subs, no goals, that's for sure. Now a half of football in and still nothing. It's a very quiet affair so far. The substitutions are about to start making way now. And a goal has been scored, but then Wood equalises immediately. Kasami put us in front, and then a few minutes later they've equalised. This is insane. A goalkeeper injury right there. Green's going to have to go off. Or has he? No, he hasn't. He's still playing through it. Incredible. And still going. Extra time. Is this going to penalties? I think it is. And a 5-4 win on penalties for Nottingham Forest. Whew, that is big. That is huge. We are going to the Premier League on the first time of asking. That's exactly the start that I wanted. So then everyone, Season 2, and we are straight into the Premier League. A beautiful start indeed. Taking a look at the starting 11 for the start of this season, we've got Luciano now up front. We've got Cisoretti at centre attack and midfielder. The midfield's pretty much the exact same as it was before. The defence as well, except for Benito that's at right back. And of course, Morea is still in goal. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is my short list of players that I'm looking at picking up whilst I'm in the second season with Nottingham Forest in the Premier League. There are a couple of players that, again, I can get right now at the start of the season. A lot of pre-contract plays, which, again, I feel like is what I'm going to be doing the majority of the time throughout this career. I'm going to pick up a fair few plays on pre-contracts and a few very, very good plays as well. For now, though, I'm pretty happy with just advancing through and getting through the first half of the season and hopefully having a pretty good start. We definitely are not expecting to get European football in the first season in the Premier League. Don't worry. I'm just hoping to stay above the relegation zone, not finishing like 17th or 16th. I want to do well, but I definitely don't want to get relegated, that is for sure. I'm pretty confident that we should be able to survive, even with the team that we have not being the best in terms of Premier League standards. I think it'll definitely grow, get a little bit better. We should be able to keep our heads above water and then really build on it and really create something and build to something in the future. I reckon there's definitely a bargain to be had here with Javi Ontiveros, so I think I'm going to go for him. $3 million. And Ontiveros has come back. He's accepted his contract finally. 15 grand a week, and we're only paying about $3 million for him. His value is definitely above 4 mil. I know that for sure. It's sensational bit of business right there. Yeah, he's worth 4.6, but we picked him up for 3. Sensational bit of work. He's going to go right into the starting 11. I'm going to play him at right midfield for the moment because he can play there. Teixeira can keep the left midfield position. But anyway, for now though, guys, I think I'm pretty much going to advance through. I feel like that's the one transfer that I want to make. And again, do the bulk of it in January. I'm just advancing through the rest of August, doing a bit of training here and there, taking a look at deals as well, potential transfer offers. And if anything comes up, I'll let you know. And as you can see here, we are in the deadline day for the first transfer window in Season 2. Not an awful lot happened. We did get a couple of offers, but never really anything working out, never really selling anyone on. So that is that then. The first transfer window done. We're 3 games in and we're bottom of the table. Okay, so we're going to see how we're going to hope for the best and hope for a little bit of a better start. Again, we started pretty poorly in the Championship and yet still we made it to the Premier League. So simulating the second month of Premier League football, just 4 games in it, Palace, Newcastle, Swansea and Watford. Obviously no absolute superstars there, so hopefully this could be a good month to get back on track. Or maybe not. As you can clearly see, Nottingham Forest still on the bottom of the table after 7 games and only 2 points picked up. This is definitely not going very well. Newcastle are on 19, Stoke are on 18. Manchester City, 6 games and have only got 4 points. Holy hell. If they're doing this poorly, surely we can turn it around as well. So simulating October now 2017, only 3 games in it. There's one pretty big game in there against Liverpool, but then you've got Sunderland and West Bromwich Albion. We really need to bounce back there. And it's another struggle in those 3 games where we lost 2 of them, the games against Sunderland and against Liverpool, but thankfully we were able to beat West Bromwich Albion. And imagine if we'd let that one slip as well. They'd be getting away from us, and it's just not looking pretty at the moment, to be completely honest with you. I did not think that we would have this fucking awful, shambolic of a start. I thought the team was capable of doing better than this. I know that team isn't exactly full of Premier League champions, but fuck me, 5 points after 10 games is just atrocious. Okay, we got another month here in November, 3 more games left to play. 3 pretty challenging games, of course. 1 game against Stoke City, which I'd very much like to win if possible. And then December is where it's going to get pretty interesting. So we're done now with November, and a little bit of good news, we're actually now out of the relegation zone for the meantime. We are 10 points from 13 games. could again be doing a bit better, but we are out of there. So that is the main thing. We are gone. We're out of the relegation zone now. Hopefully, we can stay out of there and continue to climb the table. However, let's be honest, this month is going to be an absolute nightmare. We've got West Ham, Man City, Man United, Leicester, Arsenal, and Chelsea. So I'm expecting a total of 0 points here. We will see. And so we've made it to January. A very tough month in December has unfortunately left us in the relegation zone once again. Only on goal difference, Stoke are just above us, and then Derby on 18 points, Sunderland on 20. So, yeah, Newcastle are on the bottom in 13th, Watford behind us still as well. It's unfortunate that we find ourselves back in there, but honestly, if you saw the fixtures that we had, it's probably inevitable. But this is where we really do need to start adding some quality into the team, and it starts off with this, a couple of pre-contract signings. I know that means that we're going to get them next season, and that's sort of me banking on the fact or hoping that we are not going to get relegated this season. I think we're still going to get some players in this transfer window to join immediately that can hopefully stop that from happening. But for now, let's take a look at some pre-contract players. Another player is Andrew Robertson with Hull City, who I believe were one of the teams that actually went down. 25 grand as well for that man there. I'm going to go 5 years and bang. Miete is another one there as well. Pretty high wage, but a very good rated player. I'm quite young as well, 23, the youngest age that you have to be in order to be available to be bought on a pre-contract. 40 grand is what he wants. 5 years, let's hope for the best there. And as for Mario Balotelli, well, I was genuinely interested in picking him up, but I think for now, I might just hold off because some of the money I was going to use to get him, I might use on buying actual players. And here's a little bit of banter for you. A team that is currently in the relegation zone, I'm managing. Why? How have I gotten the buy-in? How have I gotten enough from Bayern Munich to be the manager? How the fuck? We can see your progression at Nottingham Forest. Yeah, sure, I've taken them to the Premier League, that's great. But we're in the relegation zone right now, mate. And you want me to be the manager of one of the biggest clubs in Europe? I don't know how that happens. That's hilarious. Obviously, I'm staying at Nottingham Forest. Like, what? Bayern, the German champions over Nottingham Forest. Please, get the fuck out of here. And straight away, we've got a couple of pre-contract offers that have been accepted. Andrew Robertson is one, 78 rated, 23 years of age, only 25 grand. Welcome into the team. And Miete is another one right there as well. 77 overall, 23 years of age. Beautiful signings right there to be made. And finally, after a little bit more bartering, we ended up getting a 35 grand a week deal arranged with Diego Reyes. So he's going to join as well. And look, guys, honestly, I think out of all the centre-backs that we had, there was really no possibility of us getting any of them except for this man, Cameron Carter-Vickers, who is really the only person that we could afford, to be totally honest with you. We still have about 2 mil, 3 mil left to work with, but it's really not going to be enough in the end. I think we're just going to have to settle with this. And hopefully, some of the younger players that we brought in start to develop, the team gets a bit better, pick up a few more points, and hopefully we can survive the drop. So then, we're now in February, and we start the second half of the season, which features games against Derby, Crystal Palace, Middlesbrough, and Liverpool. We'll hope to try to pick up as many points as we can and get a good start. That's so crucial. Okay then, so how'd those 4 games go? To be totally honest, we actually had a pretty good month. We drew the first 2 games in the Premier League, and then we actually beat Newcastle in the Cup, so we're still in the FA Cup. We then won, I think, against Liverpool, but unfortunately dropped points in our next game, and we find ourselves still in the relegation zone, 1 point below Newcastle, who are unfortunately above us, 18th position. Derby County, 26 points. This is definitely new for me. I'm definitely not in the heap. I'm not in the, in a relegation battle, often in career mode on the YouTube channel. So this is definitely a change. Still in the relegation zone. We've moved up though. So we're up in 18th position, only 2 away from Sunderland and 3 away from Newcastle, who have played a game extra than us. And if you want to look at Southampton as well, only 4 points away. It's pretty close. If we can keep this going, this pretty good form that we seem to be in, we might be able to jump ahead. Alright then, so we're done. We're now into the final month of May, and let's take a look at the table. We are out of the relegation zone for now. We have a game left to play compared to Middlesbrough, Sunderland, and a few other teams as well. Really, right now, it is down to Nottingham Forest, Sunderland, Derby County. They're the teams that are trying to battle it. I'm not sure about bottom spot, but it's just between them. I think Middlesbrough is safe. But these are our final games, and we have some interesting games to finish things off for sure. We have Southampton, that's going to be a tough one. Manchester United, another pretty tough one. And then this game against Newcastle, which are one of the teams down the bottom of the table as well. And then finally finishing it with Manchester City away. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but let's hope for the best, and let's hope we're still in the Premier League next season. If we are, it will be massive because we have some sensational players joining us. We're going to really have a strong, solid squad, and we will not have to surely worry about relegation ever again. And so it's time then. We've finished with the 4 last games. Let's take a look at the fixtures. Let's look at the table. We are 17th. We're 2 points above Watford, Derby County, and I believe that means Sunderland have probably finished bottom. There you go. It's going to be Watford, Derby, and Sunderland going down. We survive. Man, that's a close one. We finished with 8 wins, 13 draws, and 17 losses. That's the first time in, I don't know how long I've actually finished with more losses than draws or wins in a season in any career mode, in any FIFA. I don't know. It's been crazy, but there you go. 37 points. It's enough. We survive. But Season 3, with all those pre-contract players coming in, we're still in the Premier League. We're hopefully going to really start to build from here and maybe start to challenge to get toward the top of the table. So 2 seasons in now, guys, and we are up to Season 3. And this is going to be where hopefully we really start to build our push to hopefully do something very big in the Premier League. The starting 11 now looks a bit like this. It's again, changes here and there and all over the place. We've got Miete in at centre midfield alongside Elena right there, who's still coming up as well. We've got Cameron Carter-Vickers and Diego Reyes now, and 80 rated players in the team. Beautiful to see. Robertson, 79 rated left back. There's definitely some areas that we can grow in, like maybe another centre back, maybe the defense, maybe another quality midfielder. But yes, we are going to make those signings. And again, let me show you some of the players. I know I've been making a lot of signings through pre-contract and players in the last year of their contract, but basically I'm trying to find good players for as cheap as possible, considering that this is only Nottingham Forest. We don't have a ridiculously high budget. We need to be picky. I can't just take anyone that I possibly can. So I've once again done the research and I found a bunch of players that are in the last year of their contract. A lot of players, almost all of these are going to be available on pre-contracts. And you know what? I might try to make 1 or 2 signings in this transfer window immediately. The majority of these guys, I might not get all of them, but the majority of them I'm going to go for on pre-contracts. And then in the 4th and 5th season, hopefully I can probably wear off on the pre-contracts. But I do want to get one more centre back. That's the thing right now. So I could either try to go for Marquinhos, Manolas, or maybe Sergi Gomez. I think probably Gomez because he's probably going to be the cheaper player to get. Oh man, even with the ridiculously tight, like very little amount of cash that we have, we'd need to break the bank to get just one player, Sergi Gomez, when if we were to wait a season, we could just get him in for just his wages. You know what? This is going to be the last time I really just go absolutely crazy with pre-contracts, but I'm pretty much going to go all the entire first half of the season without making a transfer. But still going through deadline day. As of yet, no big offers have happened, and really, I'm not keen to sign anyone in this transfer window or in this deadline day. I'm pretty good with saving my cash for January. But we did okay in October. We ended up drawing away to Manchester United. I will take that. We beat Swansea City, and we also got a draw at Hull City, and they're all away games, plus winning that game against Swansea. I feel like that's a good month. Now we've got to try to do bits here. We've got Newcastle, who should hopefully be maybe a team that we can beat at home. We've got Manchester City, which might be tough, and then West Ham, which is going to be tough. Okay, so another month down. Those last 3 games were a bit of a mix. We won, drew, and lost. We actually beat the team that you wouldn't expect, Manchester City, drew to, I think, Newcastle, and then lost to the other team, unfortunately. But even though we are 16th and on 14 points, if you take a look at the table, I mean, if we were to win our next game and some of the teams above us, like 17th, like Manchester City are on 17 points, and they're 8th. We're 16th, and we're 3 points away from them. I seriously think we could jump this table if we have a good December. And the games that we have are interesting. Middlesbrough, Stoke City, Chelsea, Crystal Palace, West Brom, and then Aston Villa leading into the January transfer window. Who knows what we're gonna get in that month. And so, boys, we've made it into January. We are done with December. We need to take a look back at the individual results, but take a look at our position in the table. We, ladies and gentlemen, are in the top 10, which basically means that we are 10th. And if you take a look at that as well, you see that we are just a point below Everton, 2 points below Burnley, and only 3 points below Middlesbrough. So we could really make some more movement if we really put the results together. First thing is we're getting a brand new goalkeeper, a guy that's only going to be 50 grand, but he's worth 80, or he is 87 overall. Sensational. We're going to get this man, Timo Horn. We're going to get a new right back, Sergio Roberto. Not necessarily playing at the right back position too much. He's very high wage, but still, we've got the cash. So I might maybe be a bit hesitant to get him straight away. He might not be one of the first players I'm going to sign, but I am going to send a contract his way. I'm going to go in for 2 centre-backs here. Marquinhos is one. He actually wants a pay cut. This happens from time to time. That's kind of funny. Manolas is the other one. This man also wants a pay. I was about to say he might want a wage cut as well, since he's got the exact same demands as Marquinhos, but there we go. You know what, guys? As a matter of fact, I was thinking about only just offering a couple of players contracts on this shortlist, but you know what? Bugger it. All the rest of the players here, I'm going to send contract offers for, and I'm going to see if I can bring in as many as possible. Well, we've heard back from one player, a guy that's only got 35 grand wage. You know what? It's that low. I'm just going to sign him straight up, Sergi Gomez. We're going to sign up Sandro, so we have a real high-rated quality striker there, 83 rated, 23. I mean, That's fantastic. That's beautiful. 120 grand for Marquinhos. I can accept that too, considering he's 86 overall. And then Timo Horn, 50 grand for an 87 rated keeper. I mean, throwing realism and all that out the door, that is not what I'm going for here. I just want to make the team as good as possible. We have another player that's accepted as well, Sergio Roberto, who has a ridiculously high wage. I know that he does 200 grand in comparison to everyone else, but I think there's only a few more players that I want to get, and I should have cash to get them all in. Maybe we miss out on one, but I do want Sergio Roberto. Welcome. And now even more players accepting. We have Niang, the left winger that we're picking up, and of course, to complement the new left winger, a new right winger as well in Suso. So they're all going to sign up as well. Now, we have one more player left, only $250,000 more, and I still think we might be able to adjust. We have $6 million left in the transfer budget. I'm going to go for Marco van Ginkel as well. There's one other player I think I'm going for. I forget who it is. I think it's Manolas. If we were to dedicate that $6 million that we have in the budget to wage, that should be enough. And so we're advancing, waiting to hear back from Manolas right now. Is that going to be him? No, he's declined again. He's really asking for quite a fair bit here. Still waiting to hear back from him, you know. It's been a while now. And he has... No, it's Koke that's accepted, the centre midfielder, who is also on 20 grand wage. You know what? That means now we have to make a choice between signing either him or Koke. And you know what? I think I might actually want to go with Koke. I don't think we're going to have enough money with 3.5 mil to sign Manolas. If we do, I'll get him, but Koke, I think I'd rather prefer. Game coming up against United. Surely one of those emails has to be. And it's a pre-contract offer, accept. Now, do we have the cash? That's the question. Accept. Is it going to be good? We do have the budget, and we can get him as well. And you know what? I think that's it. We're done. We've made so many. I cannot wait for next season. We are going to have the most stacked team ever out of absolutely nowhere. So then, February, we are out of January. We're done. All the transfers, everything is finished. Even the players that I wanted sold, we sold as well. So we freed up the space for those new players. And now we just got to get through the rest of the season. And how about this month of February? We've got Arsenal, we've got Liverpool, West Ham, and Man City. Man, I'll be happy to take points wherever I can there. Well then, that month was definitely a tough one. In those 4 games, we actually drew 3 of them and lost 1, but still, only taking 3 points from a possible 12 has left us here, 16th, with, not a lot of room between us and relegation. Again, I thought we'd be doing better. Interestingly enough, the month of March has only 1 Premier League game in it, and it's a game against Tottenham Hotspur, which I'm not sure what's up with that, but all right then. And it would appear that that game ended up being a loss. That's that's fantastic. April, though, has 6 games in it, and these are all teams that are pretty much toward the bottom of the table. So hopefully, this is a good chance for us to take some points, try to get away from the relegation zone, and maybe potentially finish up around about mid-table. That is where I'd love to finish. And now in the final month of May, where there are still a few more games left to be played. Obviously, we have 5 games left to go, but we are pretty clear of the relegation zone. Unfortunately, teams like Middlesbrough that are like 5 points away from us and like 3 or 4 positions ahead of us, it doesn't really look like we're going to finish in a super respectable position, but we're not going down, I suppose. That's the main thing. So another season done, and this time it's actually Chelsea that have won it. We have survived, of course. We finished in 15th. Hope that we could have finished a little bit higher. And to be fair, we were only like, I don't know, let's say 5 points away from finishing in 10th. So it was a very tight finish in the middle of the table. And unfortunately, we finished, 15th. But next season, when we have all those incredible players, no fucking way. We are challenging for not just European football, but goddamn Champions League. We are taking that jump. I only realize now as well that we get a whopping 61 million worth of prize money for finishing in 15th in the Premier League. That is insane. So 3 seasons now done with the Nottingham Forest career mode. We are now into the penultimate season, season 4. There's only one more after this, and this can hopefully be the season where finally we start pushing and going for something really, really big. I mean, just look at the starting 11 that we are working with now in comparison to what it was last season and the season before. Every single player 80 rated at least in every single position, and we have so much depth. Honestly, just look at the bench as well. Not a single player that's below 75. It's ridiculous. And then a whole bunch of amazing players in the reserves too. I mean, it is really as stacked as it's going to be. A few more players in the short list here. Again, a couple of players I can get on pre-contract, but like I said before, I think I'm good with signing just a bunch of pre-contract players now. I actually want to just straight up buy a few players, one of which is going to be hopefully one of these 2 left backs, Lavine Kurzawa or Rafa Suarez. I might also go for another central midfielder. I've got Tolisso, Tielemans, and Suarez as well, but I think I might hold off. I do want to get another left back though. Take a look at this then. It looks like we have our offer accepted for Rafa Suarez, but what about PSG? Literally what I said, 50 million is what they want, and that's No, not going to happen. Honestly now, guys, I think I might just start going month by month. We've got 2 games in the Premier League to start, another pretty tough test, Arsenal, and then West Ham to start things off. Well, we're in September then, and we played 3 games in the Premier League, 1 game in the EFL Cup. We had this extra game against Everton, which we won, so good result there. We got the match here against Arsenal, the first game of the Premier League, which we won 3-0. We are absolutely announcing ourselves, hopefully, to the Premier League that we are going to be a threat. And then you've got the draw against West Ham, unfortunate. And then, of course, lowly old Portsmouth. Oh, wait. Yeah, we lost that, so I don't know how, but whatever. I'd rather focus on the Premier League anyway. So starting pretty strong, you know. We're in the top 2 already after just 3 games played, equal on 7 points with 4 other teams, or 3 other teams, but there you go. We started strong. So now we find ourselves in October after a couple of games played in the Premier League, 6 to be fair, and we are 11 points in. We ended up like winning a game, drawing a game, and losing a game in the previous month in September. So mixed results there, but we're still in the top 4, still in a great spot, although West Ham, they're doing very well. They've got 5 wins and 1 draw. We're still currently sitting in 3rd, and I got to be honest with you, this top of the table is looking bizarre at the moment. First, West Ham were on top. Now Norwich, who are actually undefeated, are on top at the moment after 9 games played. You've got Man City, Chelsea, and a few other teams like that, but just what is happening with that top? Even with 9 games in, that's amazing to see Norwich at the top, West Ham 2nd, and Nottingham Forest obviously 3rd. Hopefully we can stay up there though. Next up, 3 more games. We got Liverpool, we got Crystal Palace, and then of course Aston Villa. Hopefully some chances to pick up some points. And after those games, we find ourselves currently sitting in 4th. Again, we've dropped a position to Manchester City, unfortunately, but we were actually undefeated through that month. I think we drew 2 games and won 1 of them, and that leaves us on 20 points, 9 away from top spot Norwich. That sounds so fucking wrong, but I don't know why. They're 13 games undefeated. And Norwich City about to become like a goddamn... Oh my god. I mean, I'm the one that's doing the return to glory, and Norwich are fucking outdoing me right now. This is embarrassing. But we do have a game against Norwich at least coming up, a match against Watford as well, Leicester City, Manchester City, Southampton, obviously that Norwich game, and Swansea City. A big month of December before we find ourselves in January. Who knows, if things go well for us, we could really climb and make some ground in the table. But of course, as I said, we are in January, which means it is now time to make some of those sweet free contract signings. And honestly, I've got a lot of cash. I could probably make every single one of these signings, but I don't think I'm going to. Partially because I don't think I could with all the players I have. I might go over the amount that I'm allowed, but there are definitely some players I want to go in for straight away. Varane is going to be one of those players. 300. One of those players will be a new centre back, and I'm going to go for Bailly over Varane, only because Eric Bailly actually has like 100 grand less on his wage, so he'd be a much better buy. I'm also going to pick up Kurzawa. I would have loved to have bought him straight away, but it just wasn't going to be possible. He's a wage of 150 grand. We'll get him as well. I'm also going to go in for Tolisso, and I'm also going to go in for Dennis Suarez and Marcus Rashford. I'll just do that in the background. Actually, hold on. I just realized something. Rashford is 22. And unless he turns 23 in January, which I'm not sure if he does, we can't get him. And immediately, we're actually starting off with 4 players accepting their pre-contracts incredibly quickly. Kurzawa was 1, Dennis Suarez is another, Tolisso is 1, and then, of course, Bailly there as well. We've got a little over $750,000 to work with. I think I'm going to sign them in order of preference. First one we're going to get is Kurzawa. I think the next one we're going to sign is going to be Tolisso, who definitely is a higher rated player than Dennis Suarez and has a much lower wage, which as a matter of fact, I'm probably not even going to sign Dennis Suarez right now. I might wait for him, but Eric Bailly is going to be the other one I'm going to pick up. But Rashford still hasn't turned 23. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just going to pick up Dennis Suarez. So there you go. It's as simple as that. And we are left with almost absolutely nothing now after this final transfer. And next season, it's just going to be insane. Now looking at the results for February, we have got a win in the FA Cup against Norwich. And again, another game against Norwich. That time was a 2-2 draw. I honestly would have preferred the win against Norwich again in the Premier League, but still, either way, we got the draw against Burnley there. Another draw against Everton, pretty much just all 3 points. Only 3 points being taken from the 3 Premier League games, and we were knocked out round of 16 FA Cup against West Ham. We still actually haven't won any silverware, unfortunately. The only thing that we've won really is just the playoff final. That still has us in Champions League position. As a matter of fact, only 4 points off top spot. Norwich have actually started to fall down now, which is, there you go. Crystal Palace still stayed up the top, and Chelsea have taken #1 spot as well. I wonder Is it possible? Only 3 games in March, but here's what we've got. We've got a win against Middlesbrough. Big one, that one. We have got a draw against Manchester United. And how about this game against West Ham? A 3-1 win there. That's big. That's 7 of a possible 9. Does that catch us? Does that get us any closer to the top spot? I don't know. It really depends on how Palace and how Chelsea did. It does get us closer. As a matter of fact, we don't have a high goal difference than Liverpool or Chelsea, unfortunately. But we're third. We are 3 points behind top spot. But we have a game less played than Liverpool and Chelsea. Oh my God, it could happen. Here we go then, the results of April. A win against Arsenal away, that's a great start. A win against Sheffield. How about Leicester City? A loss. That's not good. Watford, a draw. Newcastle, a win. And this game against Chelsea is going to be massive. Whoever, if anyone won this game, it probably could decide the Premier League. What's it going to be? It's a loss. Chelsea, we've lost away 2-1. That game could decide the Premier League with only about a couple more games left to go. And you know what? I'm bloody right as well, because take a look at that. Chelsea are 4 points above Nottingham Forest. That was a massive 6-pointer for between first and second right there. If Nottingham Forest won that game, they'd go to 61 points, and Chelsea obviously would fall down to 59, and Nottingham Forest would be sitting top right now if we won that game. All right then, so let's do it. Before we look at the table, we're looking at the results for our games. Let's go with Southampton. A win. Good start, we had to. And then Man City, another win. That's very good indeed. What about Liverpool? That's another win. This is insane. Okay. Now there's no guarantees here. Chelsea could have gone on an insane run, won all their games as well. But if we win this game against Tottenham, I've got a weird feeling that we might have done it. Have we? Oh, it's a 1-0 win as well. I think this could be massive. 4 wins in our last 4 games against Tottenham, Liverpool, and Manchester City. It's just 3 of them. That's incredible. Now we have to look at the table. Who is going to be the champion? Well, guys, I've taken a look and see for yourselves. We're the freaking champions! We did it! We won 4 games in our last 4. Unbelievable stuff. We win it by point. I don't know what's going on with Chelsea. I don't know if they've just had an absolute shocker and we've been incredible. We've been magical. But Nottingham Forest have done it. They've won the Premier League 4th season. We have done it. We've jumped from just escaping relegation 2 seasons ago to finishing in a pretty bad position like low mid-table in our last season, to now we sign a shitload of amazing players on pre-contracts and bang, look at us. 70 points is what gets it done. You're very rarely going to see a team win the Premier League with 70 points, but we do. A lot of stuff had to fall in our favour, and we've been able to do it. An amazing last month, and Nottingham Forest are champions of the Premier League. And so here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the 5th and final season. No matter what happens, we are ending it here. Hopefully we can go out on, who knows, maybe another Premier League, maybe do bits in the Champions League. We will see. This is what the starting 11 looks like. It's crazy if you compare it to what we had at the start, but yeah, now we've got Sandro, Koke still up front or at centre attack midfield, Niang, Suso on the left and right, Suarez now, Dennis Suarez, and Tolisso as the centre mids, Kurzawa, Marquinhos, Eric Bailly's in there now, Roberto at right back, and Timo Horn still in goal. And obviously, there's no point in me getting any more pre-contract players because obviously they won't be joining us by the end of the 5th season. So there's no point in me getting anyone on a pre-contract. I do want to buy one more player, but even then, I'm really eyeing off a superstar. And let's be honest, I still don't really have that much cash. There are 2 players I want to go for. They're both strikers. They're both from Manchester City. The first one is Gabriel Jesus or Jesus. It's Jesus. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm going to go for him, and we're going to, again, start off really, really low. As you can see, we do not have that much cash. I'm going to start 30 mil. And the other one is Kelechi Iheanacho. I might have a slightly better chance of signing this man. I don't know for sure, though, but still, we'll offer 30 million for him as well, and I'll let you know how we go. I'm definitely also going to try to sell 1 or 2 players to bring in a little bit of cash. I'm going to bump it up to 65. I know that's still a way off, but we'll see what happens. Oh, wow. Take a look at that. They've accepted the 65. So I think I might go for Gabriel Jesus instead of Iheanacho. Let's do it then. Let's hope he accepts the contract and then we'll be good. And he has done. That's beautiful. Gabriel Jesus is coming to Nottingham Forest. There we go. That's pretty much the big transfer. That's wiped out every single cent that we have almost. I mean, definitely not enough to get Iheanacho now. So I've moved him into the starting position now. That is the team that we have, and oh my goodness me, this is a beautiful side. I mean, seriously, we should be a threat in every competition. So now for the first game of competitive football, it's the Community Shield. We immediately start off with an injury. That's not good. But it's Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. Hopefully start off the season pretty well with a, just a little something, a little Community Shield. That'd be a very good start. But unfortunately, an injury to Koke is not. However, though, on the 45th minute, Gabriel Jesus, our new signing, puts us in front. Now only half an hour left to go. Is there going to be any more goals in this game? And is it going to be Arsenal or Nottingham Forest that gets it? A brace for Jesus, and that should surely mean a 2-0 win for Nottingham Forest. And we have won the Community Shield to start the season. Beautiful start and a beautiful first game for our new signing. Now for the month of September, we've got a whole bunch of different games. We've got Premier League games, Champions League, and then of course EFL Cup still. We beat Palace, which is very good. We ended up drawing our first Champions League game against Sevilla, a win against Burnley, a draw against Leicester, so we still got a... I don't know if that means it was taken to a replay. No, it must have been on penalties. We'll find out whether or not we're still in the competition, but either way, Sunderland we beat as well, and Ghent we lost. We've taken 1 point out of 6 in our first 2 Champions League games. That is not a good start. Currently on top of the Premier League, by the way, undefeated, the only team undefeated as well, with 5 wins and 1 draw. So then, the month of October, let's take a look. Our first loss in the Premier League was bestowed upon us by Manchester United. No good. We've got a draw to Southampton. There you go. Now we're starting to slow down in the Premier League a little bit. What about this Champions League game? A good 3 points there against Dortmund. We had to win that game, that's for sure. Arsenal, we won again. Very good stuff. A massive win against Rotherham, to be expected. And then Leicester City, a goalless draw. We've also unfortunately lost our top spot after Manchester United beat us. We're only a point away. Now in the month of November, and we have 2 massive Champions League games that we're looking at. First off, a draw against Sevilla. Could have been a bit better there. We've got a game against Stoke and a win there. We've got Swansea, a loss against Swansea. I swear they're the bogey team of the series right now. And then Dortmund, a win. That's big there too. I think we've got 1 more Champions League game left to go in our group. And a loss against Man City. All right, we started pretty strong and we're starting to not really do so well. We are still within touching distance of winning the league, but I'm not so sure. Having a look at our Champions League group, by the way, if we win our next game, we are guaranteeing ourselves a spot in the top 2 and moving forward into the knockouts, which is what I absolutely simply have to do. And whether it be Dortmund or Sevilla or Ghent, whoever misses out, I don't care. We have to get in. Okay then, December. Big games coming up here. The quarterfinal of the EFL Cup was a win, and we are all the way to the semis. Beautiful stuff. Now, we got a game against Watford and another win. This game we simply have to win if we were to go through in the Champions League, and we have 4-1 against Ghent. Good stuff there. Norwich, a 1-1 draw there. Everton, another draw. Newcastle, another draw. And what about this final game? Liverpool, 2-1 loss. Oh man. I think we're going to start losing some territory, some ground in the Premier League. At least, though, we are about to start our FA Cup run. We're about to begin the EFL Cup semi-finals. And in the Champions League, we are going to be playing Juventus in the round of 16. And again, because I simply just have absolutely no budget to make any, meaningful signings, I'm just, again, not even acknowledging the transfer window. We are just continuing to go through games. So then, January's games, and there were a fair few of them. Let's take a look. A draw against Fulham. Again, we're not really getting maximum points in the Premier League. No, we definitely aren't. Another draw. Everton. How about this Arsenal game? Obviously, it was a win, as you can see. We played another FA Cup game. A 4-1 win against Arsenal, doing very well against them. A 5-0 win against Norwich, a pumping there. And then another win against Norwich. They must hate the sight of us right now. And then Fulham, another 3-0 win. Norwich, a 2-0 win. We've absolutely dominated against Norwich. This is crazy. And a 6-0 win against Preston. Oh my God, we have just been dominant toward the end of January. This now means we're going to be in a cup final of the EFL Cup. I can't wait to see how we go in that one. We got Champions League coming up, and we're still fighting to try to win the Premier League. Crystal Palace are on top right now with 44 points. Arsenal, Southampton, and Manchester United are above us in the top 4. Now for the results in February, except for one on the 28th, we have that game against West Ham, that final. I'm going to simulate and see how that unfolds. But anyway, Premier League results. Here we go. A win against Swansea away. I can't remember the last time we actually got a win against Swansea. My goodness. Anyway, Stoke City, another win. And then Leicester, another win. All right, starting to stack them up in the Premier League. That's good. A draw against Cardiff in the FA Cup. I assume that means we're getting a replay. And in the first leg against Juventus in the round of 16, we drew. But now we sit back and watch the final of the EFL Cup. Can we get our first real piece of silverware? Not counting, of course, the Community Shield, which Gabriel Jesus scored in twice, and he scores within 5 minutes in the EFL Cup. Big time player. Now 2-0 lead. Dennis Suarez getting on the score sheet as well. I think this looks pretty good. I reckon hopefully we can hang on here, although they pulled one back. It could get interesting, but Tolisso, both centre midfielders getting a goal now. Only 20 minutes now. Penalty, and Koke converts that one. It's got to be over now. We're going to get the EFL Cup and the Community Shield. Thank you for coming, West Ham. You put up a good fight, but no, in the end, it's a 4-1 win to Nottingham Forest. And coming straight out of that game, by the way, I then noticed that we have 2 games to play within 2 days. Arsenal, and then the, I assume, replay in the FA Cup against Cardiff. Oh my goodness, but at least we are back on top of the table. We've also been drawn against Chelsea, who we're going to play in the Premier League as well, in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. But for now, we find ourselves outside of the top spot. Arsenal are 2 points ahead right now. So now into April then, and let's take a look. Premier League games to start things off. A win against Chelsea. That bodes well for, of course, the quarterfinals. What else? A draw against Southampton. What else? A win against Chelsea. What else? I sound like a rap song right now. Anyway, Manchester United, another 1-0 win. This is good. And another win against Chelsea. We're going through to the semi-finals of the Champions League, man. This is insane. A win against Sunderland and a win against Burnley. We now have a big final month of May here. We, of course, have Barcelona in the semis. I'm going to sim both of those 2 legs to see where we end up. If we make it to the final, I'm playing the final. We are also 6 points clear with 4 games left to go in the Premier League. We could be going back-to-back champions of England again. That'd be sensational. But let's focus on the Champions League for now. I'm also going to simulate this game in between against Newcastle. That last game against Liverpool was a win. It's looking very good right now. But the next 2 are going to be Barcelona. Both legs I'm going to simulate right now. This will be interesting for sure. Anyway, Barcelona, probably without Messi, I would imagine. I don't think they would. Oh, they still got him. MSN still rocking. Anyway, this is the away leg. So a goal here would be big, obviously. Nearly a half an hour in, still no goals and nothing really happening. A yellow card. That's about it though. Still going. Half an hour in. If we can pick up this away goal, it'll be massive. Messi just got substituted. 30 minutes left to go. Is anything going to happen? It's looking like it's a bit of a dull game at the moment. Is anyone going to score? 10 minutes left to go. I don't think anything's happening. It's probably going to be... No, it's a Neymar penalty in the 88th minute. How very Barcelona of them to get a late minute penalty. Unbelievable. And Neymar converts it. We do not get the away goal. We actually lose as well in the last few minutes. Devastating stuff. We need to bounce back in the second leg. A big performance is needed here. The whole reason I picked Nottingham Forest, of course, was because they went back-to-back in the European Championships. Can we do it again? Can they win the European Cup once more now the Champions League? We need to get a goal immediately and we need to keep a clean sheet. That's the thing. Nearly a half into the game and still not much has happened. Just the yellow card to Samuel Umtiti. A few substitutions are going to start coming in now, I would imagine. Still no goals. Are Barcelona about to get a late goal like they did before? Or are we going to sneak one? We need to. Koke misses a penalty. And that's that. Koke missing a penalty and we miss out on the Champions League final. Oh, that is devastating. That is just teasing stuff right there. Incredible. We could have gone through. We could have had extra time, but no, that's it. That's it. We are done in the Champions League. No final. It's not going to happen. We came so close as you can, but it's not to be. Well, at least the Premier League is sorted. We got the EFL Cup as well, which is nice too. I mean, we're going to be Premier League champions regardless, so I suppose we have that to hang our hats on. But unfortunate, very unfortunate that, we could not win that Champions League, or at least get to the final. And this is how it ends, with 2 league titles, a domestic cup won. Beautiful, that EFL Cup. Our biggest win was that 6-0 win against Preston. Biggest defeat, 5-1 against Spurs. Record transfer fee, 65 million right there, of course, for Gabriel Jesus. And overall, 262 games, 111 wins, 78 draws, 73 losses. But I tell you what, it's not too bad. We can have a look at one final squad report to see all the players that we actually ended up signing. You can see some of the players that had amazing seasons and amazing years. Obviously, there are a lot of players there. There are some absolute superstars. Some of the guys that we got within the first season or 2 that are still here that have actually managed to get to a pretty good rating, just regardless, either way. And then, of course, some of the Deadwood players that have still somehow been able to feature. It's pretty cool there. Sergio Gomez, 85. Reyes, 85, still going as well. And that is everyone. It's stacked. It's absolutely crazy compared to what it was 5 seasons ago. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And, of course, leave in the comments down below what club you would want me to do next for another Return to Glory. I'm thinking about doing one of these every single week. But until that next Return to Glory, my name is the MasterBucks, and have a good one.